Hello and welcome to this module all about IELTS Academic Writing Task 1. In this module, I'll be showing you a process that you can follow so that you write band 7, 8 or 9 answers every time you do this task. In this video, we will be looking at the requirements of the task and the different question types that you may face. So, let's begin. First of all, the aim of this module is to make sure that you are able to write an IELTS Band 7, 8 or 9 answer for any IELTS Academic Writing Task 1 question. There are 7 different question types and you will be confident to answer any of those different question types. You will also know the writing process, which allows you to repeat your success time and time again. And this process is what will allow you to feel confident in tackling any different type of Task 1 questions. So here are the requirements that you need to fulfill in order to complete this task successfully. First of all, you will be given some visual data in the form of either graphs, charts, tables, diagrams, or maps. In some cases, you may have 2 or more of these. You will then have to write a short report summarizing the main features of the visual data that you've been given. You will need to write 150 words or more, and you will allow yourself 20 minutes to complete this task. Remember, it's a 1-hour exam, and you have to answer both Task 1 and Task 2 during this time. Now, the Task 2 essay is worth twice as many marks as IELTS Writing Task 1, so you therefore spend 40 minutes on the essay and 20 minutes on Part 1. And that is why it is worth just 33.33% of your total IELTS writing band score. It is really important though that you know how to do Task 1 effectively. So many people focus totally on the essay and let themselves down or lower their overall band score by producing a poor Task 1 response. So by following these videos carefully, you will avoid that trap and you will be able to get a band 7 or higher overall for your writing. Here are the 7 different question types that you may face. You may be given a line graph to summarize, a pie chart, a bar chart, a table, or a combination of 2 or more graphs, charts, or tables. You may also receive a process diagram to summarize or a map to summarize. You could get any of these different question types, so it's important that you prepare thoroughly for each one. This series of videos will of course cover all of these. Now we're going to take a look at each of these different question types in turn. Here is our first example. The first important feature you need to be aware of is the first opening sentence, which says, "The graph below shows radio and television audiences throughout the day in 1992. This is our opening statement and tells us what we are looking at. It describes the visual data for us. So it's a really important sentence. Secondly, we're going to see the instructions, and they include the top sentence where it says you should spend a minimum about 20 minutes on this task, and also underneath where it says you should write at least 150 words. You'll always get both of those, and you'll also always read this sentence. Summarize the information by selecting and reporting the main features and make comparisons where relevant. So those are the three different instructions you will always see. The different sentence is your opening statement, which is describing to you what you are looking at. In this case, you are looking at a line graph, and we'll be analysing this line graph later. Because there are similarities in the instructions between different questions, we can answer them using a similar answer structure, and this is really helpful to us. Here is our second example. This time we're looking at a pie chart. Our opening statement says, the pie chart shows the amount of money that a children's charity located in the USA spent and received in 1 year, 2016. And again, we've got the same instruction sentence. Summarize the information by selecting and reporting the main features and make comparisons where relevant. You would also see the instructions telling you to write a minimum of 150 words and spend about 20 minutes on the task. There you can see two pie charts, and you would have to analyze and summarize those two charts. Let's take a look at another type of question. This time we're looking at a bar chart, and as you can see, the instructions are the same, and our opening statement reads, the chart below shows the number of men and women in further education in Britain in 3 periods, and whether they were studying full-time or part-time. Here we've got a table to summarize, and the table below gives information on consumer spending on different items in 5 different countries in 2002. So that's an example of a table question type. Here we're looking at a multiple data task, as we've got both a pie chart and a table. So our opening statement here is, the pie chart below shows the main reasons why agricultural land becomes less productive. The table shows how these causes affected 3 regions of the world during the 1990s. So on this occasion, we've got 2 opening sentences, one describing each of the different visual data sources. So it should always be clear what it is that you are looking at, so long as you read the opening statements carefully. And of course, we've got the same instructions. Here we've got another example of multiple data. We've got a bar chart and a pie chart. So it's quite possible that you receive multiple data, and it could be any combination, normally one of a line graph, bar chart, pie chart, or a table. And don't worry about this. These questions, some people think, are more difficult than having just one visual data to summarize, but actually when you are confident using the process that I show you, it can actually be easier to work with multiple data sources, but we'll come on to that later. Next we have a process question. Some people call these flowchart questions because essentially you see a form of flowchart with arrows indicating the direction of a process. Often it's a cycle, sometimes it's just a series of events, as in this case here. And the opening statement here reads, the diagram below shows the process by which bricks are manufactured for the building industry. So it's a different topic entirely to some of the others we've looked at, but the structure we can use to answer the question is actually very similar to all the others. And now we just have one final question type to look at. Finally, here is our 7th different type of question, and this involves maps. Often you will be given a map from one period of time, here it's 1984, and then at a later date, and here it's 2013. You will then have to summarize the changes between the two different time periods. Our opening statement here reads, "The maps below show the changes that have taken place at the seaside town of Brinslow between 1990 and 2005. And again, you can follow the same structure to your answer that I'll be showing you in the next few videos, and you'll be able to confidently answer questions like these. That concludes our introduction to IELTS Writing Task 1. So just to quickly summarize, you're required to write 150 words or more. You're recommended to spend around 20 minutes on the task. There are 7 different question types that you may face. They're the ones we've just gone through. They will all have an opening statement sentence. This is really important as it shows you what your data is about. There will always be the same instruction sentence, and because of this, we can use the same or similar structures in our answers. So, we've gone through an introduction to IELTS Academic Writing Task 1. Now it's time to look at how we actually do these questions in the next video.